Welcome to Fort Lauderdale and welcome on board Savannah, a 118-foot Intermarine that was actually built in Savannah. Interestingly, she was built in 2001, and for me the significance of that is that that's the same year that I first started to work with the American market, trying to understand what American yacht owners wanted from their yacht. And the overwhelming feedback that I had from the American market was that they wanted practicality, they wanted function over form. That meant lots of storage space, lots of refrigeration, ice makers, bars, things that they could really use on the yacht. And this is a great example of just what the American market is looking for in their yacht. As you can see on board Savannah, you have lots of storage space all the way down this side, where many European builders would perhaps put a sofa. You have the same again on the other side, lots and lots of storage space, with that larger unit there being used for a flat screen television, which lifts and lowers. At this point, I have to say that a viewer on a recent video questioned our use of a wide-angle lens. He felt that it didn't give a realistic look of the size of the yacht. I have to say that we use a wide-angle lens because it's the best way to show you as much of the yacht as is possible while I'm talking. But there's absolutely no deception here at all. This is a very, very beamy yacht. Just take a look at this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's over a 7-meter beam. That's 23.5 feet beam. And because the yacht's been built with no side decks, you really feel the space when you're inside this main lounge area. And have a look too. Forward of the lounge, we have this beautiful large bar with a large ice maker behind, refrigeration, a wine cooler in there too. A wonderful area to be able to just sit and relax while the stewardess makes some cocktails for you. Now here, the carpet ends and a marble floor begins, and the marble floor leads down the side where you have a side entrance. But also, as you can see, we have the day head here too. And this is a good time to say that even though Intermarine was built with functionality over form, that doesn't mean to say it's in any less a luxury yacht. As you can see from the fittings in there, beautiful marble, beautiful design, a very, very pleasing place to be. Let's take a look further forward now, because this is where it gets a little bit more unusual. Again, as we go down the starboard side, the carpet finishes and we have this lovely marble floor. Once again, we have a side entrance, and that corresponds with a side gate, because as you know, whilst in the Med, very often people will dock stern to. Usually in the States, it's side to, so that side entrance is so important. Further forward though, take a look at this. A dedicated dining area inside the yacht. Now, whilst it's true that usually people will enjoy eating on the outside, on the Flybridge perhaps, or on the afterdeck, from time to time it's really good to have this option. If the weather's not so good, if the wind is quite high, this is a lovely place to be able to sit and eat. And I particularly like that square window in the side that just looks like a picture frame, really framing the surroundings that are around you. Further forward still, this is a feature I really wanted to show you, because in a lot of European yachts, there will be a master stateroom on the main deck. A lot of Europeans do like to have that. But if you're happy to have the master stateroom below deck, full beam, and we'll be taking a look at that in a few moments, it frees up all of this space for a really good, usable galley. I mean, we have 2 big ovens here. One is Miele, the other is Gaggenau, so top end brands, a really big fridge, freezer, more storage space. And this, of course, doubles up as the crew mess as well. We'll be looking at the crew quarters a little bit later, but you'll be able to see that by having the crew mess here, you can have more space for the crew as well in the bow of the yacht. Of course, when a yacht has the master cabin here, the galley tends to be fitted away usually on the port side of the yacht, underneath the steps that go up to the pilot house. And it's really quite a sacrificed galley just to be able to have the cabin here. A lot of people would far prefer to have a usable galley and keep the staterooms below deck. On the subject of the staterooms, let's take a look at the cabin space. So the steps lead down to this central lobby area, and there are various cabins off of the lobby. Two almost identical cabins with queen beds in them. This, by the way, is a lovely American cherry wood, and as you can see, the designer has done it in a way that it's interrupted by this fabric panel. It makes for a really nice, light and airy area. The wardrobe space has been very cleverly hidden away. You just have to push that in to get access to the wardrobe. And of course, this cabin as well has its own ensuite bathroom, which is very, very nicely appointed. I said that the two cabins here are almost identical, because in this second cabin with the queen bed, this unit here actually can be removed and fitted into the middle, and the bed separates to become two single beds. Now, Savannah has been very, very popular on the charter market. So to have that option where you can have a cabin with single beds or with a double bed is a real big advantage when you are chartering the yacht. Again, this cabin, of course, has that lovely ensuite bathroom with a very large shower in it too. Moving further forward to the port side, we have a dedicated twin cabin, again with this lovely American cherry wood, plenty of space between the two beds, their own television set, their own ensuite head. But what I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing, of course, is the owner's stateroom. Full beam, and it is absolutely magnificently appointed. Again, lots of this lovely American cherry wood, again with a design feature just interrupting it to make a more pleasing atmosphere to be in, your own sofa. But I really liked this feature here. These blinds are very simple to use, very functional. You can just lift them to let a little bit of sunlight in, close them to make it a blackout area, or they slide across to let even more light in from the portholes. Take a look as well at the bathroom here. Effectively a his and hers head with this lovely, huge communicating shower here, almost like a shower room actually, rather than just a shower itself. That must be such a pleasure in the morning to get up and spend some time underneath that shower. And again, high-end marble countertops, really beautifully finished. Very, very nice, practical, but still luxurious yacht. Let's take a look now at some of the deck space. But before we do that, you may have noticed there's one door that we didn't open, and that's here. Now this actually is very unusual because it leads to a small cabin which is currently being used for storage. It actually has two bunks and an ensuite bathroom, making this a 5-stateroom yacht for 10 guests. Going back to my comments about the importance of practicality on a yacht, this is a great example where most modern European yachts would probably have very large windows here which slide open to become doors. Rather than doing that, this has a closed off area with windows, and that allows you to have this huge bar. And once again, behind the bar we have ice makers, refrigeration, wine coolers, storage. So this becomes a wonderful area for yourself and your guests and your friends to sit at the bar. In our case, in the Intercoastal here in Fort Lauderdale, taking a look at some of the beautiful property around us and just enjoying the day cruising. Or as well, you could also use this area for formal dining with a large dining table there as well, which is currently divided into two separate tables, but of course can unite to become just one. Let's take a look on the Flybridge. And once again, this is very typical of a yacht design with practicality in mind. The aft area of the Flybridge is really dedicated to a storage area for a 19-foot tender, two really good sized wave runners and that large crane in the middle for lifting them. Actually, Savannah also runs with a chase boat, which is an increasingly popular option, but you don't have to have that if you don't want to. Meanwhile, forward, we have the guest area with a very large jacuzzi tub. Again, a lovely seating area. This canvas hard top here, or canvas top, to keep you in the shade, because as I'm sure you know, in South Florida it can get very, very hot. So it's good to have that shaded area. They've also got an option where the sides can be closed down too, which is probably for if you're on a day with a little bit of high wind. And again, this huge bar area. Again, with more freezer, fridge space, lots and lots of storage, a really practical option. And if you're wondering what this is, by the way, these are two big freezer units. So if you're going to spend a lot of time on the yacht, you'll never have a problem with somewhere to put all of the food and storage. Further forward, of course, you have the helm station, which actually, during the filming, this is where the captain spent most of his time. It's a great area for visibility. It's a lovely, comfortable place to cruise from. And with that, that's a good segue to start to look at the crew areas on board. So the bridge is actually packed full of interesting features, not the least of which is this stool that folds out here so that somebody can sit there and do their work on the surface. You also have in the corner here this lovely elevated seating position, which is a great area to just sit and watch the scenery, see what the captain's doing, or maybe if there's other crew members up here as well, talking to the captain while you're underway. Everything's really beautifully laid out. Again, simple, but very functional, with the actual helm chair here, again, at an elevated position for great visibility. Let me show you the rest of the crew quarters. Again, the crew quarters is simple, compact, functional. You have a washer and a dryer here, two crew cabins to the port and starboard side, each one with their own ensuite head. And then as we move forward, we come up quite a few steps because we're right in the bow of the yacht here. Every inch of space is used, and we have another two crew cabins with their own bathroom. Now though, let's take a look at the thing that most people seem to particularly enjoy on a yacht, and that's taking a look at the engine room. Access to the engine room is through the transom, and you pass first through a lazarette area, which is perfect for storing dive gear. In fact, there's a dive compressor in there as well if you do enjoy scuba diving on the yacht, which is a wonderful activity. The engine room itself has two Caterpillar engines of 1,350 horsepower each and two 55 kilowatt Northern Lights generators. There's a couple of workbenches in there as well, but what I do want to convey to you, having just been out at sea in the vessel, is how quiet she is. I actually commented on it to my colleagues. Vibration free, very quiet, very smooth out at sea. I really would encourage qualified buyers to take a look at this yacht, and when the time comes, of course, you're able to as well sea trial her, and you won't be disappointed. I'm not the man to arrange that for you though. This yacht is for sale with two of my colleagues, Kristen Klein and Whit Kirtland, the dynamic duo of yacht brokers who can get you all the information that you need to make a decision. Do contact them. Their details are on screen now.